So Jocelyn Brown, who had the classic song back in 1984, Somebody Else's Guy, came out and said she never got a dime from the industry for that. And she was a writer on the song. What is my thoughts and takes? That's not a surprise. I've heard horror stories about artists who sold tens of millions of records and ain't get a dime because the industry makes money off of your records. That doesn't mean you get paid. You know, the hidden costs, the food, the clothes, the limo, the wine and dine, that ain't because they like you. They that's an investment, and what they do is it earns interest. So I remember Jimmy Jam was talking about. He says the industry only business he ever been in where you can never pay the bank off, and this is a case in point. Somebody else's guy has been a huge song. It's been played tons of times. We're talking 40 plus years later, and she still ain't seen a dime. Do you know that there was vinyl, cassette, 8 track before we got to, MP3, before all the streaming, all that? There have been multiple ways that song has been sold. Cassette single, CD singles. And you mean to tell me they can't cut a check? If they do cut a check, it won't even be able to be enough to get her a grand slam at Denny's with OJ for all you can drink all day. I mean, that's the kind of coldness of that music business. And people be like, the lawyers huddle you, the paperwork, the whole propaganda. But the thing is this: if you don't know what you're getting into, you can get hook, line, and sinker. They can just talk to your head and just talk to you and just pay you what they want. Yes, you go out there and you can perform and tour and make some money, but you won't get paid on the song that you had a hand in publishing and all that because they got their own deals. They got their own way of doing stuff. It's a cold business. Welcome to show business 101, you know. And the reality is, it's just the way it works. They got people still under hook, line, and sinker that if they do pay them, they can't say stuff because it's just the powers that be. There is written rules, unwritten rules about, you know. So sometimes you might not see a dime. You can write the whole album, you can play all the instruments, you can have the studio time, and they still find a way to shortchange you. That is the reality. That's what you sell your soul for because if people see the records in and they think that you're getting paid like that, and it's not always the case. It's not always the case. And this is another sad reminder of how cold the business is because that's the one bumping song. And I did hear, what was the song? I'm trying to think. It was on Bruno Mars' 24K Magic. Um, I forgot what song it was, but he definitely was inspired by that vamp. And I've heard other people use that vamp too, you know. And she was a big voice and the imagery alone, you know how the industry did it. So, but it's really a shame when you get artists who are still happen to make ends meet with said song, but they can never cash that in, you know. And that's one of the reasons why I was Salt and Pepper recently in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they spoke out about trying to fight for their masters. Because, we're talking 40 plus years later. And that's around the same time because Jocelyn Brown's song came out 2 years before Salt and Pepper did. So they're in the same plantations, same dealing with the massa. Won't get off the songs, won't get off that money, won't give them no publishing. Read the fine print. Don't get no 360 deal and things that you don't do with that business. And if you can avoid it, just don't really deal with them except for distribution if you can help it. But I don't know why anybody want to get stuck with the industry plantation now anyway. If you got access and you got computer and you can do your own, avoid that plantation because this is a sad, cold reality. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.